Welcome to Echoes in the Dark. I'm Kat.
And I'm Mark. Today, we're visiting a place of breathtaking architectural beauty that holds a history of profound, heartbreaking tragedy. We're going to Pasadena, California,
Okay.
to the Colorado Street Bridge.
If you've ever seen a picture of it, you know what we mean. It's this, gorgeous, majestic structure.
It is.
Completed way back in 1913, it has these incredible sweeping Beaux Arts arches and ornate vintage lampposts.
Right.
It feels like a gateway to a bygone era, but Mark, it has another name, a much darker one.
It does. While its official name is the Colorado Street Bridge,
Right.
most people, well, they know it by its grim nickname, Suicide Bridge. And that name, unfortunately, was earned through a century of sorrow. It was a true engineering marvel for its time. Designed by Waddell and Harrington, it spans over 1,400 feet and soars 150 feet above the vast Arroyo Seco Canyon. For a time,
Wow.
it was even a celebrated part of the iconic Route 66.
But the darkness started to creep in not long after it opened. The first recorded suicide was on November 16, 1919. It was the Great Depression, however, that truly and irrevocably cemented its grim reputation. The numbers from that era are just staggering.
They're a chilling reflection of the times. Between 1929 and 1933 alone,
Yeah?
over 50 people took their lives there. The annual tolls were relentless.
Oh, wow.
9 deaths in 1933, 10 in 1934, 12 in 1935. By 1937, a total of 87 people had jumped.
Wow.
The bridge became this silent, stoic monument to national desperation.
And behind every single one of those numbers is a human story. The most famous and perhaps the most devastating is the story of Myrtle Ward. It was May 1st, 1937. Myrtle was a 22-year-old mother reportedly despondent after losing her job at a cafeteria, a story so common in that era. In an act of pure desperation, she took her 3-year-old daughter, Jean, to the middle of the bridge. First, she threw little Jean over the edge,
Oh, God.
and then she jumped herself.
It's an almost unimaginable moment. Myrtle died from her injuries a few hours later, but what happened to her daughter, Jean, is what elevates this story from pure tragedy
Yeah?
to something almost mythical. She fell 143 feet, but her descent was slowed by the thick branches of trees growing in the canyon below.
No way.
She survived. To this day, Jean Ward is the only known person to have survived that fall.
It's just incredible. Jean went on to live a full life.
Yeah.
And she later attributed her survival to divine intervention, saying, "God sent his angels and saved me." It's this one sliver of impossible light in a story
Right.
that is otherwise so dark. But as you've pointed out, this isn't just a historical problem.
Not at all. The tragedy is ongoing. In October 2015,
Okay.
the well-known British-American supermodel and MTV host Sam Sarpong died by suicide there after a 7-hour standoff with police.
Wow.
It's a stark reminder that this bridge's sad legacy continues into the modern day.
And that legacy has given birth to a century of legends. The ghost stories of the Colorado Street Bridge are as famous as the bridge itself.
This is where the bridge crosses over from a historical site
Right.
into a paranormal epicenter. And the legends start with its very creation. The foundational myth is that during construction, a worker fell from the scaffolding into a vat of wet concrete.
Oh, that old story.
The story goes that the concrete was drying too quickly to retrieve him, so his body was just left there, entombed within one of the bridge's massive pillars to this day.
And his ghost is said to be the bridge's first spectral resident, a man in boots and old work clothes. Some of the more sinister tellings of the legend claim he actively whispers to people on the bridge and urges them to jump.
From there, the list of apparitions grows. One of the most common sightings is of a spectral woman in a long, flowing white robe. She's often seen walking the parapets before she appears to throw herself off and simply vanishes into thin air.
Wow.
Many believe she is the spirit of one of the despondent mothers from the Depression era.
There's also the man with wire-rimmed glasses, a full-bodied apparition seen wandering the span,
Right.
thought to be a banker or businessman who lost everything. But the hauntings that I find most unsettling are the ones that happen under the bridge, in the shadowy arroyo. People hiking below have reported hearing a disembodied man's voice whispering two chilling words. Her fault.
Oof.
No one knows who he is or who she is.
And then there's the apparition that ties directly back to the bridge's most famous tragedy. Some witnesses claim to see a female spirit wandering the dry riverbed, her head down, as if she's searching for something.
Oh no.
The heartbreaking theory is that this could be the spirit of Myrtle Ward, eternally looking for the child she lost.
The sheer volume and variety of the phenomena is what make this place so notorious. People report sudden, inexplicable cold spots, even on hot California days. The beautiful historic lampposts are known to flicker and die without reason. And then there are the sounds, disembodied screams that seem to erupt from the canyon, sorrowful moans, and a general atmosphere,
Yeah.
often described as being suffocatingly thick or heavy.
It's a paranormal investigator's dream or nightmare. It's been featured on countless ghost hunting shows and had a huge influence in horror culture. It perfectly embodies the beautiful death location trope, a beautiful place that is deeply corrupted by tragedy.
Right.
You can see echoes of its influence in the Gothic style of American Horror Story or in the way we view other tragic landmarks.
It's a powerful archetype, the beautiful thing that is also deadly. We see it with the Golden Gate Bridge,
Absolutely.
which was the subject of that incredibly haunting 2006 documentary, The Bridge. These real-world structures become ready-made characters for our horror stories because they are, in many ways,
Yeah.
real-life horror locations.
Absolutely. And from a paranormal perspective, you have to ask why. What's going on here? The most common theory is that it's a massive residual haunting, that the intense trauma and grief of over 150 deaths have been imprinted onto the location, replaying like a psychic recording. But the interactive nature of some spirits, like the Whispering Man, suggests it could be intelligent hauntings too.
But there's an even wilder theory, isn't there? One that connects the bridge to something much older and more sinister?
Yes, it's the portal theory. The bridge spans the Arroyo Seco, which is very close to a local haunt called Devil's Gate. This gorge is infamous for its connection to the notorious occultist Jack Parsons,
Oh, wow.
who allegedly performed rituals there in the 1940s to try and open a literal portal to hell. Some paranormalists believe the bridge's proximity to this area makes it a natural weak spot between worlds.
Okay.
So you have this perfect storm, a stunning architectural marvel saturated with a century of profound human grief,
Yeah.
possibly built right next to a supernatural hotspot. It's no wonder it has the reputation it does.
It's a reputation the city has been fighting for decades. 2 months after Myrtle Ward's death in 1937, they installed a 7.5-foot barrier. In the 90s, an 8-foot one was added.
Right.
And now a 10-foot chain link fence covers the entire span. But the stories, the sadness, and the spirits, they all remain. These legends are fascinating, but it is so important to remember that they are born from real human pain and desperation. The Colorado Street Bridge is more than a haunted landmark. It's a somber reminder of the ongoing importance of mental health awareness and compassion.
Absolutely. The history is important, but the present matters more.
And on that note, we want to end this episode by saying that if you or anyone you know is struggling or in crisis, help is always available. You can call or text 988 anytime in the U.S. and Canada to connect with the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can also visit 988lifeline.org. It is free, confidential, and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Please reach out. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. When a physical place becomes so deeply saturated with human tragedy, Does the land itself begin to remember? And are the ghost stories we tell a way of honoring the lost, or do they risk turning real individual pain into just another piece of folklore?